I'm excited and I'm hoping, I mean, who knows, right? We don't know what can happen. If for some reason one of these teams that's currently in second place or third place decides to pop off and continue to pop off, and Vampire Esports continues to not get those points that we have seen out of them, even on the bad matches, we might end up with something close. And that's just me being hopeful, right? That's just me wanting to see a close finish. Yeah,
literally. I mean, it is going to be that close at the top.
It is. I mean, I never thought I'd be saying this, but we did see Vampire actually lose to Twisted Minds.
Yes, I wanted to bring that up, actually. That was a big surprise of a fight because Twisted Mind weren't really organized too much, but no, sometimes Twisted Mind can bring something back from the brink of death.
Yep. Well, it's going to be tough, but it is going to be doable here for a lot of these teams to bump themselves up in prize pool, but they still have 5 matches left to go. We've got 3 Erangils, we've got 2 Miramars, we've got a packed house as well, and honestly, who knows what's going to happen by the end of this day. But I'm going to ask you a prediction here. As you can see, we're about to load in our first Erangel. 7. In one word, which team?
7.
This match.
7.
Max?
Plus.
Okay, well, you got your predictions in right there. I believe we can go to our commentators very shortly here to drop us into our second match of the day. And honestly, things are only heating up from here. So let's drop in to our commentators to kick off our very first Erangel of the day with Hot Jukes and Kalaris.
Woo! Here we go, baby. First Erangel of the day. PMWI main tournament, of course, presented to you by the Honor Magic 5 Pro. This is where you are going to be battle tested, baby. Erangel. No better map, in my opinion. We're going to play a whole bunch of them today, and this is where Vampire, you can see the man right there. Tony K has had his way with everybody.
He's ascended.
Yes, he has.
He has ascended to a position that nobody's going to be able to challenge by the looks of things. And you're right, the classic, Erangel, the grassy pastures. We have got ourselves a great playing path as well to kick things off for a triple helping of Erangel. The team's bread and butter is Erangel. They know it the best, they play it the best, and throughout these next 3 games, this could quite easily determine what's going to happen on those standings.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you are Alpha 7, if you're 6-8, I think your goal right now is to just put up a monster game. You need another 20-point play. Now, if that were to happen, if we're going to see Alpha 7 or 6-8 do that, then maybe one more, and then after that, then the talk of, okay, are we going to see them drop on Vampire and try to take them out early? But I'll tell you what, with this zone, a lot of those plans, I think, are going to go right out the door.
Give me that cheeky mini Milter finish where it's ridiculous. I'm all about down there, but I mean, we've still got a lot of locations that it could be. One thing for sure, though, is that for a lot of those teams in the chase, they're all west side teams. They're all west dropping teams. You've got Alpha 7 up in the north with that heavy Zaki and North George split, which does have its vulnerabilities, but I don't think they're going to be punished. I think Vampire's going to stay away from them. Already a fight is brewing, though, here between Alter Ego and Infinity IQ.
Oh, Infinity IQ can afford to lose players early on, but yeah, Alter Ego Potato is going to pick up that one. That's going to be the first one on the board for this final Erangel. And guess what? We're seeing those mini 14s get picked up.
Yeah, we are. It's especially rough as well because Bensu's looked great for Infinity IQ.
True.
So to have him lost early is rough, but I tell you what's not rough. Everybody at home, you can get yourself the special PMWI crate that's currently available between July the 15th and August the 15th. And you can also head over to the Esports Center as well. There's lots of great goodies here whilst PMWI is on, and it's a good time for PUBG Mobile fans.
100%. So many giveaways, so much action, so much money given away here in this tournament. And it's absolutely blown my mind how much this sport has grown in just a few short years. It's only going to get bigger and better, baby. Make sure you spread the word. Of course, use that hashtag 2023 PMWI while you're at it.
Yeah, and not only do you get a win, obviously, with hundreds and thousands of dollars if you get first place, but you also get to stand in the Hot Jukes Dome.
Yeah.
As Hot Jukes, the man himself. Now, you took a picture with Vampire earlier.
I did.
That was a lovely picture.
I did. The first thing I asked them was like, hey, you know, so what you buying?
What you buying?
What you buying? What's in the shopping cart right now, you know? I heard a couple ideas. I heard Sertani. Heard he added links to the checkout, so that's good to hear from him.
I'm not surprised.
Because, I mean, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to see how this team performed. Sertani's wrists were absolutely red, you know, from doing so many cartwheels last night.
Yeah, okay.
Once again, so I definitely definitely feel for him.
Maybe there's a world where his wrists are weighed down by the amount of watches
That's
he's going to
correct.
buy in the future.
My
Who knows?
also hope is for Tony K, because Tony K is going to have a hard time, I think, after this tournament, because he has to be very careful, because he does play with his hands. He is a mobile gamer.
Yes, yes.
And I think his hands could reach a lot of risk from counting so many $100 bills.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while. And he might get mobbed by fans. And, you know, I mean, he's probably made hundreds of thousands, probably new fans after watching something like this go down. Because people are looking at him and thinking to himself, actually, this is GOAT level play.
It is.
Like, if he does this in future tournaments,
That had the greatest performance ever was Paraboy.
of course.
Right? But I
Everyone
don't
knows
have a performance like this.
It's not the same.
At this level. It's just not. And not to mention how improved, like how more intense the gameplay has gotten at this level. It's crazy, right? There aren't any more feeder teams. All these teams in this lobby are stacked.
Yeah, but also how improved I would say Tony K is as well. We've known him in the past, you know, previously on FaZe, we've seen him, you know, do decently, you know, and it's exciting and stuff like that. But what seems to be clear here is that, and it is not just a one-man show, it's the enabling of the rest of the team around him for it to actually occur, actually happen. And yeah, so far, every piece is slotted together. It goes in the square hole.
Yes, it does.
So we keep
Yes, it does.
saying in the
Square hole, yes.
yeah, for these guys, it's been looking fantastic.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was when I got to the hotel last night, I saw a lot of the players, coaches having dinner. I said, everybody stop eating, right?
Stop now,
Stop now.
Everyone.
Find out what Tony K is eating, right? Eat the same,
Yeah.
right? Whatever he's drinking, same drink, same amount of water, right? Because it's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? We can go on about, you know, Tony K and Vampire's performance thus far, but this tournament's not over yet. I mean, yeah, the lead is still insane. I do like that we saw some life, though, from Alpha 7. Meanwhile, we're going to see Tianba get into it with Infinity IQ. And Infinity IQ is a really solid team, but I'm so shocked to see them currently sitting in last place.
Yeah, they can't catch a break here at the moment. This game especially has been an absolute disaster for them. A bit of a train wreck. Ferrari and Hugo going to try and move on past the buildings, or even just maybe crash into Tiamba. They have an M249 just pre-fire. A pre-nade, I do like that kind of strat. It's very, very strong. But actually they're going to ride on past and look for somewhere else.
Yeah, that's going to keep things interesting here, because once I saw them do that push, to me, that was a give-up push. That was a push just saying,
well,
we're at the bottom of the
know.
leaderboard, just see ya.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's so crazy, because, again, even if you're in IQ's place, last place, that's some good chunk of change. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger as it goes up. A good couple performances, I mean, these guys could jump all the way to 10th or higher.
Yeah, you get a win, and then you're right up there. And it's still possible for a team like this, in the lobby like this. They proved that they're able to hang with a decent portion of this lobby thanks to the All-Stars. And now they've found themselves a decent compound here along the road between Milta, running all the way over to Milta Power. These compounds have got extremely high value. The only problem I foresee when you take a center spot like this as a two-man and you're kind of wounded as a team is that eventually teams will crash you. And holding it off as a two can be difficult. That's why sometimes we see duos that have, you know, lost people early on try and take a compound that's not exactly the most prio compound, because they feel like eventually good teams are probably just going to crash the prio ones.
Sir, indeed. Speaking of crash, we're going to see a lot of these crashes come up here in the next few minutes. The zone is about to pop. Ferrari with a nice shot there. Love to see that bolt action come out. It's bolt action versus Mini 14. Who's going to win? Oh, the Boltsy! It's the Bolt, baby! Ferrari showing them how it's done. Attaboy.
Going at 100 miles an hour. Love it. He's only actually got 30 shots to his name here with this, but the 8 times on the car is going to be able to do quite a bit. Big fan of this, man. And I know you are too. I know you are.
I want to see more Bolties. I want to see more Bolties. Hopefully we can see that in the future of competitive. But I'll tell you right now, Infinity IQ, hopefully that hypes them up. They're in last place. That's still $25,000. If they were to make a jump to like 10th, that's $49,000.
You gotta do it.
So, I mean, that is almost double. And that is what you want. Let's take a look here as the zone does pop on over. Right back to a farm. I'll tell you what, 628's happy about that shift.
A farm finish, I'll take that one. I mean, there's lots of great compounds along these roads, but if you can get farm, lock this down, it becomes a fortress. There is a lot of open area around it. To the east, yes, there's an open area between it. Let's take a look at the bullet. He was driving. He was driving.
So he already popped TQ out. We missed that earlier. Beautifully done. Let's see this one again. What a shot. Ferrari.
Yes.
That is how you do it. Finally, a nice, sick bolt headshot. I can finally fill that out of my bingo card for this tournament. Let's
There you go. A
That was
cheeky
it.
double almost. A cheeky double. But anyway, yeah, let's take stock of where we're at. Again, as I say, farm, an extremely strong location. There is a tower you can use a little bit northwest of it, which is pretty strong as well. But Vampire, Ravenclaw's already embroiled in a fight. He needs the rest of his team here to reinforce. Will not hold down on his own.
Nice shot there from Ghost. So I'll tell you what, 628 Alpha 7 fans are now Box fans. You were hoping that Box Gaming takes out this team because they need to go out early if these other squads have a chance at passing them up. A beautiful nade, though, from Fluke is going to shut that down. Is Box Gaming going to take advantage of this? They don't know it's Vampire yet. They haven't gotten to finish. A nice nade, though, from Tony K. Strong. Can he find this angle? He takes the UAS instead.
Yeah, I think this was a salvage play. I don't think he anticipated falling down the way he did, so now he's kind of making the most of what he's going to do here. Big spray coming in from Tony K, not able to hit too much with it. Box gets out with the tail between the legs.
Wow, so Box Gaming absolutely feeding Vampire. But you know what? Gladiators want to take advantage of this. Tixie has the angles. He does get popped in the process. Fortunate for him, he doesn't get finished. Kitsune steals the elimination from Vampire. Oh, it gets a nice shot onto them. That's 2 knocked. They need to take advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can get away with this, that would be fantastic. Ravenclaw also in a lot of trouble, throwing down some smokes, trying to cover his position due to the fact that they're so open. Schweppes dodging and weaving, trying to get into this building. The shots are still raining through, goes through the window, gets away. But, I mean, everybody else on Vampire is going down.
Well, right now, nobody knows that it's Vampire that is knocked, right? They will find out the second one player does get finished, and they will. So we'll see 3 players from Vampire done and out.
Wow.
This is back-to-back the worst performances we've seen so far from them here in the last day.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. They might have a huge lead, but if this continues, so maybe they don't get many points on the board at all for today. As Schweppes here, what he's going to do now, he's going to sit in there for as long as he possibly can and wait this out. Gladiators, though, what a brilliant win for them. What a pickup.
Huge start for Gladiators right now. So great for them, and not to mention a big hype-up moment for them to take out the monstrous Vampire esports. So again, I said that Vampire's doing so well that they could not come in today and still win, right? It's possible. But I'll tell you what, 628 and Alpha 7, after seeing those eliminations, I want to see a fire lit in them right now. I want to see them go crazy because they need to.
Yeah, a proper burn. Let's see what is going to occur here. For 628, they're coming in from that west side. They're actually leapfrogging ahead of Schweppes here. So for Schweppes, that gets dicey. He's very much on the edge of this circle. The circle popped, and we're going kind of east of farm location. Alpha 7 has a great 2-2 split across 2 very prio compounds, but again, it's kind of in the north side of this. Eventually, they probably may need to get together because sometimes holding both of those compounds at the same time, they have great lines of sight on each other, but if someone crashes from the west on that west compound or the east on the east compound, it's hard to get those reinforcing shots.
Absolutely. Alpha 7 does a great job of defending certain points like that. That's, I think, where they really, really thrive because their gun skill is just that good. But even though you have some of the best gun skill in this lobby, getting full sent on by a full squad, if you do not bust out that car, they are going to take you out, and you're going to be down to 2 players. So Alpha 7, I think they definitely know better. This is still a little bit of a big zone. They got to play it carefully. I think after this circle, though, we'll definitely see them join up.
628, very much so on this west side. Stalwart, actually, here got themselves not too bad a compound, but again, in terms of the positioning, usually you would expect it to kind of shift away from this bridge down the line. So eventually you're going to have to transition against rejects that we're seeing a little bit ahead of them, kind of towards the middle of that circle. We've seen Stalwart, they'll be able to make some decent pushes on against it. As long as they've got some smokes, you can kind of make that transition happen. And they've got a lot of nades as well to try and get into those buildings.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they hold that utility to the absolute end. Something like this, they're going to definitely need it. Meanwhile, we're seeing DRS climb up the bridge from their Novo loot spots. We're seeing GK full send it around, trying to find a spot open in the circle, but this is very, very risky. They're going to be driving right past Box Gaming in their Wizard Tower, and so far, so good. Seems to make it out alive. Now we see them take some shots, but just a little bit too late.
Trying. GK, as you say, with the big send-on through, they may have been one of the candidates to try and rumble one of the Alpha 7 compounds, but it's not going to be here. They're kind of wiggling around, a little bit indecisive around this farm area. When you're driving through this area, as I said before, it's very open, but they're going to crash into the side of what is farm. Hope goes down, and I don't know, man. It just seemed like a bit of a mishmash to me. Not
that
much
was
direction.
that was a good luck send. That was one where you just say, come on, let's find an open spot. And they do end up making it safe there for now, those two players at least. Let's see where this next circle is going to pop, though. It's going to go to farm. It heads on over to Milta. Okay, we have a nice little Milta finish here. Now I think we're going to see Alpha 7 definitely get on the road. But it does look like Matic is a little bit ahead of the game on them.
Not many teams actually committing to Milta earlier in this game here. So there is still room for teams to actually crash into that. Usually if teams are in there, but at the same time, Satan here trying to hold on off D plus Kia, but it's not going to be it. GK will go down. But I mean, there is room for these teams to crash into Milta, get themselves a spot. Just depends on if the circle's going to end there.
Yeah, we'll find out where that zone decides to go. It does look like we are going to have a party at Milta, though. Meanwhile, Fireflux still up, full squad away. And this is going to be a close one here. So many storylines, so many things to cover here. You got Gladiators really putting off a nice performance. Before that, let's talk about Twisted Minds with a beautiful nade onto Tianba. That's going to be a nice knock as well. Dami will get the double there. Nice suppressive fire. They want to be able to confirm those knocks. So many smokes here, though, are making it difficult for them.
Yeah, very good start for Twisted Minds boys to try and now get themselves some off angles. Crypto's moved up here and is going to be using the vehicle to his advantage. He actually needs to smoke off the vehicle. He's not only protecting himself, he's protecting the car wheels as well, so he can use that to transition later.
Meanwhile, watching Alter Ego try to hold their own against Fireflux, but we're going to go back to the Twisted Mind fight with Tianba, as there is an absolute battle going on over, trying to throw a nade from that top rope. Gets hit by Crypto. Beautiful nade from him. Now it's just John Yu, and it's gonna be the nades to finish him off.
Never mind the nade from the top rope. That was an elbow drop from the top rope here.
Yeah.
Twisted Minds dealing with that really, really rapidly, and very importantly to do so. The circle is away from them here, Hot Jukes. They need to start transitioning through, and the fields above where Rejects is might end up being like a spot that they go, but it's such a desperate send.
Oh, speaking of desperate, Alter Ego with 2 down are desperate. They need to be able to get some help from Rosemary from across the field. He is trying to get back up. Meanwhile, Soul K is up front, applying the pressure. Gladiators on the other side of the road, making it that much more difficult for Alter Ego to do anything. So Fireflux definitely getting the last laugh here on Alter Ego.
Try it, holding down with DVSs at the moment. Lutz will reinforce, and as you say, in terms of being able to seize this location away, it is almost dead center. It's a great little move here from Fireflux, who are usually also excellent at defending compounds. So if they can hold on to this location and, you know, kind of coexist with Alter Ego here for a moment, I think they'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah, Alter Ego, we're looking to pass up GK since they went out early, but losing 2 players early on is definitely not the optimum scenario. Meanwhile, you still have Gladiators, 628, Alpha 7, Fox Gaming right above them, looking to make a break time to be able to get some more money in the bank. Gladiators, 5th place right now, $80,000. You know they're hungry to possibly even take 3rd, maybe even 2nd. 3rd place, $125,000. Such a massive difference.
I'm surprised Pratt's still alive here, but he still has a lot of room or a way to go before he starts getting into those placement point locations. Here comes our circle shift, where let's go into Milta. Let's cause chaos.
Milta, come on.
I would be happy with
finish.
it. It would cause absolute bedlam.
I do not want to see a lumberyard finish.
Ooh,
okay.
That's enough.
All right, that is enough of Milta to make me happy. This road is dangerous. There are some nice little checkpoints, couple little dips on the high ground here in this area, but there's not a lot of cover unless you are on that Milta side. So we'll see how Alpha 7 wants to handle this as they move into the next circle.
It's funny because normally we talk about landmarks as metaphorical checkpoints, but there's an actual literal checkpoint on that road.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, so there's definitely somewhere you can take.
100%. Right now, it's Alter Ego in that checkpoint. They're there as a duo. They're checking tickets. Meanwhile, Schweppes trying to check some points for his team as their whole squad got wiped out a little bit earlier from Gladiators. Uh-oh, Duck, you gotta take the shots? No, he turns around.
Ooh, okay.
I'm shocked. I thought he was taking that for sure.
This is important. Where's he going to get to? I mean, he might just try and crash into Milta from the north side here. But again, you're going to be going past a lot of teams and probably weathering a lot of fire.
Thought he was headed towards the checkpoint. Instead, he's going into the middle of the open. Yeah, he's going to take this dip here, most likely. It's a dangerous dip, though. There's definitely a lot of sight lines from Fireflux. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, where it's like it's almost he's invisible as they drive in.
Yeah, nobody shot. Nobody really shot. Schweppes here has moved back off the position that nade was able to land. So, but still kind of moving around in the field somehow.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't know how he does it.
Be very quiet.
It's so crazy. They have like the most quiet vehicles ever. Nobody prioritizes them. It's really insane to see here. Meanwhile, we're watching Team Falcons on the south side of Milta, trying to hold it down. Oh, the bad nade. He knows it. Yep. Pops on over. Meanwhile, gets pieced up in the process. So this is going to be an absolute battle of attrition. It's going to be tough to get these finishes, but since Six is by himself, if he gets knocked, he's done for.
Top probably feels like bad luck Brian at this moment. He just can't get something going in this tournament. And then he's trying to throw a nade through the window and it bounces back on him from the ledge. It's really rough.
Extremely rough, but I'll tell you what, this is rough. 6-2-8 versus Alpha 7.
Big fight.
This is a massive battle. Alpha 7 has to hold on. 6-2-8 needs to take them out as well. There's only a 2-point differential from these players, and here come the nades.
They're taking a lot of damage to this here, and I think for 6-2-8, they need that location so that they can use it to their advantage as well. They know that their back was clear from the north side if they were able to wrestle this away. Mafioso down to very little health. Box has actually gone down here in 14th, but again, this bombardment might continue here from 6-2-8.
Oh, it needs to, because there's a $75,000 difference between second and third place. Right, at a certain point, you got to forget about trying to go for first. You want to secure at least second, and it is way too close for comfort. Yeah, that nade barely being out of range. Sunan getting a knock on to send a text up, but D plus Kia taking out one of the players from 6-2-8 makes it difficult. It's an absolute battle. 6-2-8 lose 2 players, and now Alpha 7 is just down to Carrillo.
Yeah, the fact that D plus Kia can also see this as well is making this so difficult for 6-2-8. They're taking shots at them all the time. The smokes start to dissipate, and they do get some shots off themselves. They're slowly whittling down the resources of Alpha 7. But while this is going on, I mean, the circle has moved away from them, and they're taking losses themselves here. So, I don't know, Pyrrhic battle here.
Yeah, and if you're D plus Kia, you realize that this is Alpha 7 and 6-2-8. I think you have to be more aggressive here. You want to take them out because you want to be able to catch up to them on the leaderboard. So D plus Kia, I think, finally recognizing the situation here, and are going to start pressing the issue little by little. A little bit of hesitancy, though, that could fight them in the end. Meanwhile, Carrillo is still up alive, just right behind the broken vehicle.
That's the thing, is that D plus Kia is happy to take it slow, but eventually they're going to have to try and send it far east, and that's not slow at all here. Carrillo, though, will be able to deal with one of the remaining players. STE goes down in total. They were trying to make something happen in a desperate situation, and it did not work out.
Instead, they feed Carrillo an elimination. He gets a playoff here. Can he take out Satan? Satan is so lit up. Carrillo with the nade. Carrillo from downtown. Can he hit it right on the money? It looks good.
Maybe a bounce.
Ooh, just a little bit too short, but he's going to get it done with his UMP. Jumps up. Ah, just runs right into Fabian.
Yeah.
A nice effort, but it's not going to cut it in the end.
Truly didn't account for Fabian as the third man coming in on that reinforcement. Schweppes here, though.
Schweppes!
Going down. He might just look straight for this flush, but he's going to go up against Rejects. Tries to go for this. Down. Oh my God! What a salvage here. They were not looking at any points at all. That was great from him.
And Schweppes is down to 1 HP and still alive. Oh. How does Schweppes do it? How does Vampire still manage to outperform Alpha 7 in this scenario? It makes no sense.
Ridiculously, 2 eliminations is going to be enough for the moment.
True.
Just any little extra points that they can gain here, especially in a game like this where I thought I counted them completely out, considering how many they lost earlier.
Yeah, and this is a really unfortunate time because that was a real big chance for both 6-2-8, Alpha 7, even Fox there. Yep. But now it's Gladiator's time to shine, okay? They are the top team in the lobby that's still alive. They have 4 eliminations, a lot of them being from on to Vampire Esports, so you know these guys are pumped up and ready to go.
I'm hoping that Gladiator still has some vehicles as well, because there is a world where they can kind of blast into Milta, the north side of it, and be able to then start transitioning from building to building. So there is room for them still in Milta. Normally that's not the case. Normally that is not the case with a usual Milta circle, but they're going to try.
Team plus Kia with 9 eliminations so far. They're having a monster performance, but Solke is looking to stop that here and now with a nice knock on the Pmwi. He gets in the vehicle to try to get some sight lines. Does get caught by Osel. Where's the rest of the Fireflux team to help him out? I'm surprised to see Lutz here still in the building.
Yeah, if he was out, could provide a bit more reinforcing fire. Osel now throwing down more smokes.
Wow, they lost Solke there.
That's rough.
That is a rough loss. I mean, what is Fireflux doing? They have the insane man advantage. It's 2 against 1. Okay, finally, we see catching Osel and taking T plus Kia out.
Gonna be on Catch and Lutz to try and do something here. Here comes Gladiators to start now making a dent in Alter Ego, and then beyond that, try and start making a move into Milta. They don't necessarily need to finish this fight if they wanted to move into Milta, because Alter Ego is so wounded, but they do want the elimination points, and they see it as an easy pickup.
Meanwhile, you see Gladiators still applying pressure onto Alter Ego. Let's take a look over here at Stalwart going against Team Falcons. Icy does get knocked all the way from DRS Gaming across the way, and they are doing a great job of disrupting these fights, making it that much more difficult for these teams to finish each other.
Yeah, Team Falcons here on one corner of this Milta circle. Meku down. They need him up here because Matic's going to move across and will actually clean up the rest of Alter Ego, so that's a good dislodging. But this took a little longer than expected, and Fireflux is actually going to kind of try and punish the position that they find themselves in.
Matic, I thought, did a great job there of making sure that he was able to finish that fight and not get knocked, but Fireflux was waiting for this. So now, how is Gladiators going to be able to take care of this? You see Tixie with those smokes, drives across. He's going to apply some pressure to those shots, but the clock is ticking, and Matic is going down. McHugh goes down as well. Fireflux looking really good here, and this is tough for Gladiators.
I can't help but think Gladiators stayed in the theater of conflict for just too long in this area. Again, they could have tried to send it through to Milta. Maybe they weren't working on that much information about who was in the buildings below them, but you've got to get that information. You've got to try and look for it, and maybe just, play for the victory as opposed to some elimination.
Solwart, like, I'll take all these extra eliminations as I can get them, and it's with that mini. That is like the kill, steal gun right there. You get those eliminations just like that with that mini.
Yeah, especially when you've got things like roofs and stuff like that. Wait, Top has 3. Top has 3 eliminations. Max in the distance is dancing around. There you go. But they've got themselves a really decent spot in Milta. I posed the question, Stalwart, of course, so many points on SANUK. What can they do on ERANGIL? They're fighting back here. They're fighting back as a team that was pegged as one of the very favorites for the tournament.
Are they going to bounce back here in the final days? They had a nice start here in the first match of SANUK, looking to have another performance in ERANGIL, but catch, wow, with the tight peaks. Big, beautiful shots there from that M4.
Icy was looking for a really cheeky angle at the top of those stairs. Doesn't quite catch it, though. Hoping that some of those bullets are just going to curve slightly down against Ketch's position into that smoke, as Tixie here still laying in some aggressive fire. Gladiators is still alive. I mean, of course, I've been a little bit harsh on them about moving down into Milta, but they are still alive. But now, this location where they could have sent to is taken and in a war zone.
Well, it's a war zone right now. This is a perfect opportunity for them to come down and third party this.
Maybe.
Because DRS is going against Infinity IQ, but Gladiators a little bit slow to this fight. They want to take their time here. We'll see if that ends up being the right play. Rules OG. Looking to press the stairs. On the Huiga. He sees him. Oh,
easy,
wow.
easy
Elimination.
The mind boggles for me because the warehouse is still available in Milta as well. Nobody's been able to scout this out at all, and that is a very important location in these next coming circles. But at the same time, everybody's kind of holding each other from every angle, so nobody's really wanting to make this move happen.
Well, they're going to have to. Gladiators realize it. Yeah, they have to. Stalwart made it that much more difficult for them to press up, but they took too much time. Now DRS Gaming has the full focus on them, and these are easy eliminations. Even Lutz is going to go ahead and steal that one in the process, and Gladiators out of there, just like that.
Some big points for Fireflux here, getting themselves at least a top 3, but at the same time, how, as Fireflux, do you make a transition against this? DRS has completely taken the warehouse now. Very important location for this circle. How's Stalwart going to respond? Oh, a peek around the corner, and Top, another knock here on the board.
Top finally started to turn things up here in the final day. Meanwhile, Fireflux have just been annoying all these squads. This duo has been so deadly, just like taking their time, waiting for teams to fight, and then just picking them off little by little with that beautiful off angle. Here comes Stalwart, throwing the smokes out. This is circle number 9. This zone is about to go to nothing. And here it comes.
Yes, and DRS right now with the warehouse looking lovely. How is this? Because the thing is that this zone goes down to the road. So eventually everybody's going to be pushed out into the open, and you can see the smoke's already blooming here to try and take advantage of it.
Killer YT with a full lay down here, trying to catch the angles. I think DRS have the advantage with this hill being so close to the center of the zone. Not to mention, Stalwart trying to creep from the buildings little by little, but they have beautiful sight lines from Fireflux. So Fireflux are going to make it that much more difficult to Stalwart. And it looks like, yeah, Stalwart is the team that everyone is looking at. DRS Gaming applying that pressure. And Icy going down. It looks like it's all DRS to win this chicken dinner.
It does look that way here. Stuck on those walls at the moment. DRS has to be effectively the one that moves last. You can see Top now being pushed by the blue. All you have to do, hold this angle, pre-fire the wall. He's hitting the wall with a pan because why on earth not? DRS with a big win here.
And I think he was trying to go out to the blue zone, deny the point. You see him panning the wall there. But DRS actually hit a beautiful nade to take that last HP and take the elimination there. So a big, big win here for DRS, and it's only match number 2.
Yeah.
Still so much action left to go.
In terms of them trying to move up the leaderboards, yes, a big win here. But